Hi, I'm Dr. Milan Riove. If you're watching this training, you're probably eating right, resting more, meditating, moving your body, and still feeling burnt out. This might be the moment where it all finally makes sense. Why your burnout keeps coming back, and what your body actually needs to recover for good. I'm a board-certified medical doctor with areas of expertise in Eastern medicine as well as functional medicine. I'm also a recovering OBGYN, which caused my own burnout that I recovered from. Over the years, I've helped thousands of clients recover from burnout, just like I did, by finally understanding what their body was actually telling them about why they were burnt out and responding to it the right way. That's why I created the Wellness Warrior 9-week transformation program to help people like you stop guessing and start healing. We've been taught that burnout is just about the workplace. Too many hours, toxic bosses, not enough time off. So we try to fix the external or the outside. We switch jobs. We go on more vacations, add supplements, download meditation apps. But here's the truth. If your body doesn't feel safe, fueled, and supported, it can't recover, no matter how many times you switch your job or how many vacations you take. Surface level fixes just don't work. What most people don't realize is that burnout follows a hidden pattern, and it's different for everyone. The pattern is what I call your dynamic metabolic type, or DMT. Your DMT reveals where your body is stuck and why it hasn't been able to recover. It explains why certain symptoms have lingered and why the typical wellness advice doesn't work for you. That's where my DART method comes in. It's a step-by-step framework to help your body finally recover and thrive. The D stands for discover. Discovering your dynamic metabolic type. Pinpoint where your burnout is rooted and how it's playing out in your metabolism, mood, energy, and sleep. The A stands for apply. Applying your metabolic type to what I call the 4 pillars of wellness: eat, move, rest, and detox. In this method, you're applying lifestyle strategies that personally suit you based on your dynamic metabolic type. The R stands for recover. We guide you in restoring balance by removing what's in your body's way and providing it with what it actually needs. And T stands for thrive. You'll build a stronger mindset and wellness habits that allow you to stay well and living your best life long after the program ends. When Sarah first joined our program, she was exhausted. She had served our country for 5 years in the military and was looking forward to coming back home and starting her civilian life. With her fiancé, they were planning to get married, start a family, and open up their family business in real estate. But Sarah's body was not on board. She was exhausted all the time. No matter what diet fads she tried, no matter what supplements she took, no matter how much sleep she got, she just didn't feel better. She was expecting that not being in the military anymore would be enough to help her recover with some common sense logical strategies, right? Eating right, exercising, sleeping. She thought that would get her over the hump, but nothing was working. So when Sarah took our burnout assessment, she realized that her dynamic metabolic type was cold deficient. In a nutshell, what that means is her metabolism was weak, it was too low, and her body wasn't able to make enough energy to sustain her activities. And so Sarah was used to military training. She was used to working out hard. She was used to not getting very much sleep, but still being able to power through. And those strategies were actually making her worse, which is why when she came home and started to readjust to her civilian life, she was wiped out. Now, the cold means that she felt cold, and her body temperature was actually too low. It was 97 degrees. A lot of people think that's normal, but your body temperature is supposed to be 98.6. So just because your body temperature is lower than that all the time doesn't mean it's normal. And what the coldness of her metabolism meant is not only was her metabolism too weak, but it was also sluggish. It wasn't able to move very well. And so that was kind of a double whammy that explained her exhaustion. And what she was doing to try to get herself out of that before she knew her dynamic metabolic type was actually making her worse. She was trying to work out harder. She wasn't getting enough sleep. She was eating raw foods. In fact, she was on a raw vegan diet because, like most people, she thought that was a healthy, but because she was too cold and raw food actually lowers your body temperature, she was actually making herself worse and didn't even know it. So we helped Sarah to apply her dynamic metabolic type to her 4 pillars of wellness. So we asked her to change her food into warming foods instead of foods that were going to make her colder. We asked her to do more restorative exercises as opposed to those that were more training, like high intensity interval training and jogging, for example. So we asked Sarah to do things like yin yoga, tai chi, or even just breath work and walking. Sleep. Sleep was a huge one. Most people are led to believe that we can't make up for sleep, but that's not really true. It's just that we're not taught how to do it. And so we asked Sarah to get extra sleep. And for pillar number 4, detox, we asked Sarah not to do any detoxes or cleanses because we wanted her to save her precious energy, not drain it out. And so using those principles, knowing her dynamic metabolic type, Sarah was able to bounce back from burnout in under 3 weeks. So I'd like you to meet Sarah so you can hear in her own words what her experience was and how she beat burnout in under 3 weeks.
I was beyond, I don't know if there's a point beyond burnout, but I was there. I was having a hard time just even getting out of bed. My energy levels were beyond low. Even in my emotions and everything, I just couldn't even keep track of anything really. Mind fog, you name it, I was experiencing it. When I learned about the dynamic metabolic types, that was mind blowing to me and honestly life altering. Finding out that your environment and different things like that can affect your dynamic metabolic type and that there are adjustments that you should be making as those life changes occur. That was huge for me. The same habits that I had, I mean, being in the military, you're pretty regimented. So all of those things that I had learned and had become a way of life for me, I was realizing that as I went through changes, none of those things really changed. And I was just digging myself deeper into burnout. It's been everything. I honestly can't even put into words just how life altering it's been. And so
Yeah.
it's definitely changed my perspective. I'm jumping on calls. I actually am even going out for walks and working out and everything. I've even been losing weight and everything. And that's all thanks to this class. If anyone gets an opportunity to do this, they should
Uh,
definitely do it. It is beyond worth it. I mean, if you implement the steps, it's guaranteed results. If you're doing that, there's no way that you won't get the results that you're looking for.
As you just saw, once you know exactly what your body needs and what's keeping it stuck in a burnout state, burnout stops being a problem. That's what we do inside the Wellness Warrior 9-week transformation program. It's the only program designed to help you discover your dynamic metabolic type and apply it to the 4 pillars of wellness, the foundational lifestyle principles that help you thrive and live your best life. Your body isn't broken. It's just been stuck working with what it has. Now it's time to give it exactly what it needs and clear out what's been in the way. If you're ready to stop just surviving and start thriving, I invite you to book your free Burnout Recovery Discovery Call with me today. We'll talk through what's going on in your body causing your burnout and how to finally fix it from the inside out. Thanks for listening, and I'm looking forward to seeing you thriving and living your best life.